In this video I'm going to demonstrate the use of the cone holding tool, the double hybrid clipping guide, all done on a Totality Industries 60-degree cone. You need to really make sure you have a good set of drill bits, and you also need to make sure that you have the size of a drill bit that you will need for your final bore dimension. One thing you need to make sure of is that you have something solid underneath the cone holding tool. If your drill press has a movable table, make sure there's something solid underneath it as well so that it won't flex on you. After placing the cone in the holder, just give it a little squeeze. It doesn't take a whole lot to hold on to it. Get your drill somewhat centered over the hole. And go to town. Start with the small bit first and work your way up. This is a titanium cone and the bit wasn't that sharp to begin with, but it did work. I do recommend letting the cone cool between each drill bit size. Like I said again, just start small and work your way up. Now that you got the hole bored out to the size you're looking for, it's time for the double hybrid clip. There's two ways of doing this. If you'd like to do it with the guide on the cone, what I've been recommending for everybody to do is take the guide and press it down on the cone and then put a couple dabs of hot glue around the bottom of it. Make sure your cone is clean before doing that so it'll help stick easier. And that will hold the guide on the cone while you do the finishing processes. Or you can set the guide down onto the cone, take a magic marker, mark where you need to cut, and then do it that way. The two tools I'm going to be using is just a simple Dremel and an 1/8" square file. One thing you need to be really careful with is not getting the cone too hot and possibly melting or softening the plastic holder or the guide itself. So after making a little slit with the Dremel, I'll just use my file and work in towards the center section and then down towards the bottom part here. Take your time and check your work every once in a bit. Now these part of the guides stick up just a hair higher than the cone, so it gives you something to run into as you're working your way inward. Now I'm constantly checking to see if this part of the cone is flush with this part of the guide. Most of the time as you're cutting with the file, you'll start removing just a little bit of material off the top part of this part of the guide there, and let you know that you're almost down, or that you are down far enough. I don't know if you can tell, but I've started hitting on this side, but I'm not on this side, so I'll try to angle my file a little bit more to get this side down further. Another thing I like to do is use the marker and just cover this whole spot, because I'm trying to hit just this side right now and I don't want to remove any more material from over there. So with the marker and trying to keep the file tilted enough, I should only remove the marker from this side. Okay, now I'm hitting on both this side and that side, so I'll give her one just light pass. Make sure I remove the marker on that side and this side. What I'll do now is I'll go ahead and cut this side down off camera and then bring you back for cutting the middle swoop. Okay, I got both sides done. Let me bring you in for a little closer view. Get it to focus there. Alright. Both sides done. Now this next part is the easiest way to overheat things. When using the Dremel to make this cut here, your cone can get pretty hot. So do yourself a favor and get a wet paper towel so you can cool it off every once in a bit. Now I'm just feeling around here and I can feel that it's pretty warm, so I'm going to take a break for a little bit, let it cool off, and go back at it some more. Alright, so I went ahead and finished the initial cut of the swoop on each side. Between letting it cool off and actual work, that probably took me maybe 10 minutes to do that. But I took 2 more breaks. Gave it a couple more minutes. I even turned a little fan on to help cool it off a little bit. Right now it's nice and cool. Let me see if I can get you a better view of it. Now at this point I really haven't done much damage to the guide itself. There's a little spot right here where I rubbed it with the file, a little spot down here, but these swoop guide areas, they're still perfectly intact. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to finish filing the inside swoop with the file. So I'll take the cone off, or the guide off the cone, and use it for the next one. Okay, here's another look of the cone with the guide removed. Let's see. What I'll do now is I'll use the file to really square these up, get them out to width. This file that I'm using is an 1/8 inch square file that I picked up off Amazon. It's almost perfect for whenever you get out to the size that you want. And you see that right there? It's nice fit. Gives you the exact width of those swoops. So now you can see how you get a good sharp edge on that. Nice and flat there compared to the other side that I haven't done yet. That's pretty much it. What I'll do now is I'll go around with the file and just kind of clean up all the edges, especially inside. Do some measurements, make sure that I've got this depth where I want it, this depth where I want it. But pretty much that's done right there. Well, thank you for watching.